Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. The following is the live call-in show from Sunday night, May 19th, 2024. During this hour, of course, hashtag Scotty G joins me from up in Michigan, and we take your calls, and we talked about memories from Disney Quest over in the old downtown Disney days. Did you ever visit? If so, what were your favorite things to do inside this? Well, it was more than an arcade. It was a virtual experience. So we talk about that for a little bit. We also talk about what we think of the testing for the drone show that is opening up here in the next few days at Disney Springs. We also get some great calls. Brandon calls in from up in New Hampshire with a mini trip report and really raves about French Quarter, his stay over there. We talk about a trip from a gentleman down in Tennessee, talking about his upcoming trip for the Halloween party. That's going to be the highlight of his trip. He's gone for the last 3 years. Just lots of fun Disney talk. Many calls on today's show. So let's have some fun talking Disney today. Don't forget our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney vacation for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. Just click through beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You make all these shows possible. We absolutely could not do this without your support. Just $5 a month is all we need, and it really helps us out. And for that donation, you get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. It's a win-win. So coming over this week, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, May 19th, 2024. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Hey, it's the BOGP Open Line, which means you got a pair of hosts. Scotty G's joining us from up in the mitten, where he has had a day full of golf and a weekend full of fun events. A very big weekend as a dad, which I'm super proud of him. So Scotty G, what's going on up in the mitten?
Hey Mike, happy to be here with you on a glorious Sunday. This had to have been like our hottest day of the year. Like it was in the mid 80s today.
Smoking.
Yes. It was a great weekend for sure. Yeah, so had prom, had junior prom for
Emily looked beautiful, by the way. I saw on socials. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we went to Michigan State's campus, went over to the Beaumont Tower. It was a gorgeous day. Took some photos over there. That worked out really well. And Mike, you know, my daughter has never had any urgency to get her driver's license. Like she's had no care at all about it. But, you know, that thing they do at their school, I think a lot of schools probably do this. Yours probably does it too. Like the seniors can like kind of create their own like parking space at the school.
Like you paint the space.
Yeah. So I know like that's something she wants to do. So like, and like none of her friends had their license. They're all older than her, but none of them have their license. So she's like, well, you know what? I'm just going to, Dad, I'll just be the first to do it. So so we ramped up her hours because you got to have like 50 hours of driving time with your parents. And you got to do a whole segment too. I know it's a lot different there in Missouri than what we do here in Michigan, but we wrapped all that up about, you know, within the last few weeks and hit the road test and passed with flying colors. So yeah, so now all her restrictions are lifted. Now we got her driver. So
congratulations.
Yeah, pretty fun moment for her.
Like I said, Find My will be on the front page of your all your devices.
We'll see. I still don't think she has any urgency. We were the ones kind of pushing her to do it, but she finally did it. So she finally said, whatever, I'll get my license.
I swear I never know where, for the last like 6 months, I never know where Mallory is except Find My. Like she's all over God's earth. Like that's everywhere. It's nuts. But I mean, we don't have hardly any restrictions in here. Like we don't have any rules to get your license. Just 16, go take the test.
Yeah, but you were telling me that blew my mind.
You don't kill anybody, you get a license. We're good to go. I mean, it's pretty much it. I mean,
that's crazy.
You have enough points. You don't have to do parallel parking at the end. It's you know, optional.
So you start with that. Like she has to do the parallel parking to start the road test yesterday.
They're just like, if you're good enough on the rest of the stuff, parallel parking, hey, got enough points. You want to do it? You don't have to because if you fail it, you're good. Anyway, I didn't do it. So I could. But then we had the prom. It was a big day for Emily for sure. Oh, sorry. The fly out. It was at the warning track. I'm sorry. I am watching a Mizzou softball game. I apologize. Very big game. Okay, so let's talk Disney tonight. We're going to have a good time. We got an hour, and we want to take your calls at 474-139-395. Now, over in the clubhouse, we've been talking a little bit about Disney Quest, and I'm curious about this. Scott, did you ever go to Disney Quest?
No, I never been to Disney Quest.
You never went there. Now, did you go to the NBA Experience, which replaced Disney Quest?
I would have loved to. I was really sad because it was a very small window, and I'm a big NBA fan. Love the Detroit Pistons, and I'm a big basketball fan, and I'm very disappointed that I never got that opportunity to experience it.
Yeah, see, because I knew like you guys, because you're an NBA town, right? Well, I mean, kind of, because you're Detroit, right?
I mean, we've been terrible for the last decade, but yes, we have some rings though. We have some championships here.
I remember when I was in high school, Detroit was good. Didn't you have Bill Lambier, that real mean dude? Wasn't he the guy?
We were the bad boys. We were all
exactly. I was getting start fights with everybody. I wasn't a big NBA guy because we didn't have an NBA team. Everybody here the Bulls, right? Because Jordan and Pippen and everybody. But anyway, I didn't get to go to the NBA Experience either, in that spot. 7 people, I guess, did because of the pandemic and, everything that happened. But people were talking about Disney Quest. And I thought that tonight, if people would call in at 407-413-9395, call in and give us what you liked about Disney Quest. That's something a lot of people that, got to go back in the day. My favorite thing, there were a couple things that I liked about it. It was a good rainy day thing to do because it would save a rainy day. It's 5 stories tall, this indoor play, and there was one in Chicago too. But you went in and you got in this elevator, and it was super themed, the genie, and it would take you to all the floors. And there was one that had retro arcade games, which I even liked back in the day. It had Donkey Kong and Burger Time and all that stuff, which I liked. But there was even an Astro Blasters kind of bumper cars, which was fun. And it's just, there was even a California Pizza Kitchen or something in there. I remember we had lunch there one day. It was a bizarre kind of thing, but it was something to do on a rainy day. And we always went in the summer, so you always had a rainy day, and it was included with your tickets. Back, would I have paid extra? Probably not. But when it was free, it made sense. I don't know if this would work anymore or not. Cheesecake Factory, that's what it was. It was a Cheesecake Factory. We ate there. Yes, we ate at Cheesecake Factory. Can you believe that?
That's crazy. I did not. I've heard of Disney Quest. I did not know that there was a restaurant in there. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it does first Cheesecake Factory I ever ate at, and it wasn't a full-on Cheesecake Factory. I don't think, because it was inside of a arcade. Huge glorified arcade, but it was pretty cool. So if you want to call in, and if you went to Disney Quest, they also did have a floor. I remember, because this is how we got talking about it over in the Discord. They had one of the first virtual reality experiences I ever saw. It was developed by Carnegie Mellon. Do you know who Randy Pausch is? He has that flower. He has a memorial in the Magic Kingdom at the Teacups.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that flower there? He did something called The Last Lecture.
Okay, yeah,
It's big in education. It was it ended up being something for his kids. It was a lesson for his kids, but they developed this Aladdin game and it was an experience within Disney Quest. And you put this big old visor helmet thing on your head, and you were flying on a magic carpet in Agrabah. This was in the 90s, right? So the graphics weren't great, and it almost made you kind of sick.
But it probably felt so great, though.
But it was wild, dude. It blew you away because this was a long time ago. It's probably early 2000s. But it was blocky and everything. But you were what? Because this first time, when you turned your head, everything would move with you. You'd see the little monkey, Abu or whatever. He'd be right there. Yeah. And it was wild. So they had that, and they also had a Pirates of the Caribbean experience where you actually got on you were physically on a bar, a raft or something, and you got a physical oar, but there were screens everywhere, and you were rowing and spraying you.
It's it was the canoes at Disneyland.
It was like a combo though. Yeah, it was screens, but also you were on a physical thing that had kind of pneumatics under it. So you had a lot of cool stuff there. It was almost like a little test bed.
So my question for you: so I had these cool virtual reality kind of games, but did they have normal arcade games where you got tickets? Because that's what drives me nuts about arcades is the tickets. Because I hate going to the ticket counter for a prize.
So I think, again, this is a long time ago. I think so. So it was 5 floors, right? And so the virtual reality stuff was on its floor. I think it was the bottom floor. There was a floor that had redemption stuff. But
boy.
I didn't go to that floor because I'm with you. I hate that stuff. But I was always on like the retro floor that was just like, you just play like Burger Time and Pac-Man and Donkey Kong. Like it didn't have any kind of, but they did have like skee ball. Like that floor had like skee ball, pop a shot, that kind of stuff. So yeah, like the football throws. It was a fun little thing.
And I love those games. I just want to play them. I don't want to like
Same.
have like the tickets to deal with them.
Same thing, same. So anyway, that was one of the things I thought we might talk about tonight. So don't wait till the end of the show. Call in now. The lines are open at 407-413-9395. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about, Scott, have you seen some of the footage from the testing of the drone show for Disney Springs this week? Have you seen any of that on social media?
Yeah, I saw a few photos that popped up, and I liked it. There was like a little like Wall-E thing going on there, and some other and it moved fast. Like it just blows my mind, like how great that technology is. So I'm kind of psyched for it. We kind of talked about that a little bit too. Like maybe if you're at Saratoga or maybe Old Key West, you might have a good viewing spot even from your resort to watch that. I'm curious, like I'm curious what the furthest point on Disney property you can be to see it. Like how high up is that going to be?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's super high. I know that's the thing, is they're probably intentionally going to keep it lower
because they want to draw people to
exactly. They probably don't want people far away, but here, we got a call coming in, so it's great. But yeah, I bet you that is an intentional thing. But I was pretty impressed. I mean, it looks large.
Oh, it looks awesome.
The Death Star really got me. I mean, I'm pumped for that. But all right, first call of the night. Hey, who's joining us?
How about a call from the 803 down in South Carolina? How you fellas doing?
Hey, from one tiger to another. What's going on, Mr. Mike Bankhead?
I know how you are with those sports over your shoulder. It's kind of hard to focus, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's the top of the ninth. I mean, we're rallying. We had to win 4 in a row. They keep telling us the chances of a team winning 4 in a row in the regionals are 3%. But it's going to be us.
I love beating odds.
That's what I said. Never tell me the odds. I'm Han Solo.
That's it.
What's going on?
Just call and speak. I hadn't called y'all in a while. I've been following everybody on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the Twitters and the X's, but just calling to speak. And both of y'all's girls are growing up, and we've come a long way.
We have. So how's life treating you guys down in South Carolina? I hope well.
Oh, good. Been retired 2 years now. Stay busier than I ever have in my life.
That's what I always hear. People retire and they get busier than they've ever been. I could handle that though.
I've heard people say, "Well, I retired and didn't know what to do." Send them my way.
That's awesome. You had a great trip to Walt Disney World
life
recently with some grandkids, I believe, or a grandchild with you. So how was that trip?
Yep. What we've done now with our DVC, we'll take one set. We got 2 children, so we take one set of family 1 year and the other the next year. So it was our daughter's turn this time, and the 4-year-old his second time to Disney World, but we had a blast. He's out here right now in my garage building a castle. I put 3 nails in the board, and he sat there for an hour and a half hammering on 3 nails. So he's at that age.
See, but honestly, I hear it, dude. That's the sound of memories right there. I did a Mike in the Midwest episode just about this grandpa's garage like 3 weeks ago. It's the best thing ever. That'll be his memory forever. I'm not kidding. That's the best thing in the world.
And you would love it. My old 78 CJ7 sat over here, tore all apart. I'm putting it back together, redoing it, like I say.
Living the dream.
Just blessed beyond all measures.
That's exactly it, man. There's nothing but you don't need anything fancy. You just need family. That's all you need.
That's it.
Oh man.
Step back.
So let me ask you this, Mike. Did you ever go to Disney? I'm sure you went to Disney Quest, right? At some point.
Oh yeah, several times. I did the Pirates. I didn't do the Aladdin thing, but I did do the Pirates virtual queue, and of course our kids at that age, our son and daughter were 18 and 16 at that time, so we had a blast in there. Just turn them loose. You could kind of sit back in the corner, let them play games. Like you say, it wasn't quarters, it wasn't tokens, it wasn't a card to reload. It was just one. And a lot of times it came with your ticket. You got your pass, and then it was a day at Disney Quest was on there. So why not?
Yeah, because Mallory always said, well, why did Paige always get to go to the water parks? I said, because because back when we used to go, it used to be included with your tickets. you didn't have to pay for it. It was just part of the deal.
Yep. And Disney probably needs to get back to some of that. So throwing us a few bones here and there wouldn't hurt.
Well, I mean, I guess we have that new thing on your arrival day. I don't know that's going to help us with the annual passes, but maybe it's trended in the right direction.
It is something, right?
We can try. We can hope. That's everybody has hope.
Well, we've got me and the wife got a trip coming up. We're doing east coast of Florida. We're going to St. Augustine, then we're going down to Vero Beach for a few nights, stay 4 nights there, then coming back to Animal Kingdom Lodge. So that's next week. So pretty excited about that one.
That almost sounds relaxing and vacation-ish.
That sounds retirish. It's a coin to work. The old people in Florida, that's us.
That sounds too good to be true.
I love it.
Oh, man, that sounds good. Well, hey, Mike, it's good hearing from you. Tell the family we said hello, and you take care of yourself and don't be a stranger, buddy.
See y'all soon.
All right, take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, one of the best people in the world right there, Mike Bankhead. Good guy. So, yeah.
So I have like the worst internet connection today, just to let you know. Like, I'm very delayed on everything I'm hearing.
All right. Hang in there. Oh, we have another call. Because you were like staring me down. I was like, okay. He's like looking at me. I'm like, what's going on? But I got you. You're good. You're moving now. All right. We have our next call. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike and Scotty G. It's Brandon up in New Hampshire, the Flamingo Hype Man from Animal Kingdom Park.
Flamingo Hype Man on the line. What's going on, Brandon?
I just want to give you guys a little quick mini trip report. We were at Port Orleans French Quarter last week. I think you know that I sent you the email about what's happening up there. But I will say, Scotty G, that is one of the most impressive, beautiful resorts that we've ever stayed at. I mean, Port Orleans French Quarter was absolutely gorgeous, especially at nighttime.
I fell in love with it this last minute. So we're trying to knock off all the resorts we haven't stayed at, and our time at French Quarter just blew me away. I was like, man, I regretted like not staying there sooner, and especially at nighttime. So I'm glad to hear that. Brandon, we're always on the same page, I feel like. So I'm glad to hear that you agreed with that experience as well.
I mean, it was just gorgeous. It was quiet. There's only like 1,000 rooms. Just early morning walks up along the Sassagoula River. I mean, of course, the boats were down to Disney Springs because the water levels were low. And then the day we showed up on Saturday, the 4th, May the 4th, of course, they announced that the pool had a problem. And Mike, I sent you a couple of pictures and, what kind of was going on there. The pool was literally leaking water under the ground, and they were walking around up till 10:30 at night with this construction crew trying to find bulges of water underground. It was just unreal.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that is so peculiar. I mean, I'm sure that they were like dumbfounded with like where that leak was, like trying to. I mean, I'm sure that was a huge emergency. Yeah, that's bizarre. I don't know what happened there. I'm sure they didn't either.
And they were going from like 7 a.m. till 10:30 p.m. trying to figure this thing out and pumping water from underground. They finally drained the pool, and they were still draining water, trying to figure out where this was absolutely coming from. And they claimed it was no burst line. They thought it was just a break in the pool lining. Now, that all being said, even then, that didn't ruin the trip. I mean, the wife got her beignets. She was so excited. I went up to Riverside a few times. The carriage ride was fantastic. Everything about that resort is gorgeous, but I will say Riverside over Port Orleans French is definitely the way to be. I mean, there's a lot more going on at Riverside, but French Quarter is just so quiet, so quaint, so romantic. The lights, the pathways, the ones that were open. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful. I cannot explain it enough to say that it was just gorgeous.
I love hearing that. Do you remember which building you were in? I was in
were
building
in
one, and that was like the best building. You were in building one as well?
All the way at the end, very quiet, very removed from everything. I mean, it's a little bit of a walk to get everywhere, but still, I mean, 3 minutes, you're next to the Sassagoula River, and I walked up to Riverside multiple times, walked around that resort. I mean, one was just, I mean, you could drop a pin and hear it echo. It was just that quiet.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you mentioned the two like sister resorts, Riverside and French Quarter, but I kind of like having both of them, right? So you have the option. I think one complements the other. like you said, I mean, Riverside is larger and it's got a little bit more going on. It's got the sit down restaurant. It's got the two halves to it with the mansions and Alligator Bayou, two different feels. French Quarter is small and it's so neat at night to walk those little streets and with the jazz music. And I like having both, you know, if only just to go back and forth and have the two distinct feels, but they still, they feel like they go together definitely when you walk between the two. Spanish Moss and stuff.
They certainly feel like they go together, but they're just so quaintly like associated with each other. You know, it's 10 minutes and you can get up to Riverside from Port Orleans French Quarter. They were supposed to be having shuttles running, being that the boats weren't running, and those were supposed to run every 20 minutes. We find that didn't really actually happen. They were golf carts that were going back and forth, and if you weren't there, I guess, waiting for 10 minutes and they had enough people to shuttle back and forth, that was kind of non-existent. So we kind of stuck with the French Quarter. I will say the week we were there, including in the parks, 4th through the 11th, most of the parks were ghost towns for the most part compared to where we've ever come before. I mean, we were in Magic Kingdom on Thursday, and we literally walked onto Pirates of the Caribbean at 4 in the afternoon, a 10-minute wait, it said. We walked up to the boats, got on. The Lightning Lane line was going up the ramp and out the door. We walked on from standby, and when we got off the ride, it said 5-minute wait, so we went back on again.
Man, I never get that. So, and you were there during actually cheerleading championships too that week, but again, the cheerleaders,
Correct, yeah,
the cheerleaders are all over
at
at
colored
ESPN.
T-shirts, all coordinated and everything like that, but we did not find the parks busy at all.
Yeah, they don't typically go to the parks too much. They're all over at ESPN. I mean, they could now if you're staying at All Star Sports, good luck, bro. But you're fine in the theme parks. Yeah, you just can't get a room. Yeah, that's good. Well, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to just give you guys a little heads up. I mean, anybody that's thinking about Port Orleans, and we've never done it before either, but Scott's trip report really set it home for us that, like, this is a place that we would really enjoy. We're not hard park people. We do everything we want to. I do the Genie Plus. I do the Lightning Lanes. I do all that because it's only 2 of us. It's not super expensive, but, I mean, everything we did was fantastic.
You know, he had me.
So good.
Scott had me down to French Quarter, too, for the night before our cruise. I was like, I was French Quarter all the way, but then we added the cousin, and we're out on that because we're now a party of 5. So I think I've moved over to
for the sleeping situation.
Yep, I think we're Old Key West now at this point because we're gonna have a total day, like a pool day, because our flight lands at 8:30 in the morning. We're taking off at 5:30 in the morning. My wife was not happy about that, but it was the cheapest flight, so pool day. So we're gonna probably end up at Old Key West and just hang out at that pool, hang out, maybe have dinner at Olivia's. Thinking that's a good day for the cruise. We'll see.
There's no bad day in Disney, to be honest with you. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go, where you stay, where you eat. I mean, again, some places are better than the other, but if you're in Florida coming from New Hampshire, it was 91 to 96 all week last week. I actually was listening to another podcast that said that it was one of the hottest days for the week we were there. We enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, we enjoyed the sunshine. We got out of New Hampshire where we're all pasty white people. The sunshine felt good. The vitamin D, you know, it was kind of nice to feel that heat where other people are like going undercover. We're like, oh no, this is the perfect time to travel these parks.
No, I hear you. But it's 90 here, so I'm getting acclimated. I'm getting ready because I know that I saw this past week, I saw the heat index was like over 100 degrees in Orlando already. I mean, it's not Memorial Day yet. It's smoking down there in Central Florida. Now, let me ask you this, Brandon, real quick on the topic of the night. Did you ever go to Disney Quest?
Never did Disney Quest. We were there during their release at Disney Springs. I think it was a couple of years ago where they had that, what do they call it, the zero tile floor thing that they had at Disney Springs. And it was a Star Wars kind of situation where you could go in there and you could walk around and do like the VIR thing that was going on with that situation. But no, not Disney Quest back in the day. I never went to Disney in the 90s except for Disney's Magic Music Days in 96 and 98 when we got down there for that. But we did get to experience it at Disney Springs. I think it was 2021 when they had it over at Springs. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about because I was checking in actually next door to the City Works, to the restaurant. I was meeting Pam Forrester for dinner.
Yeah, right next door.
Yeah, exactly. And the lady asked me, "Are you here for this?" I'm like, "What is this? I didn't know what that was." She was like, "I could have walked right into that. It was a Star Wars experience." I'm like, "No, I'm here to get dinner with my friend." She was down there for some media thing.
That was pretty amazing. They had these virtual reality things that dropped from the ceiling, and you put them on, and you could walk in any direction. I mean, this is the advancement of video games since I was a kid. I grew up on Atari 5600, you know, and and when Sega came out, that was a revelation, and Super Nintendo, I mean, all that stuff. But yeah, that was completely unreal. And the guy that invented that was an Imagineer for Disney. That zero tile floor situation, it's almost flawless. I mean, you can walk in any direction and it keeps up with what you're doing. If you're doing like a virtual, I guess like a Call of Duty or something like that, that's not my type of game speed, but I would imagine that's very immersive for somebody like that. Was Disney Quest the same way?
No, Disney Quest, I mean, obviously was a lot older, so they didn't have any of that, you know, like super current stuff. But I've heard that's like something from like, I've never seen the movie, but like Ready Player One had that kind of technology and that virtual floor. Yeah, where you can walk in that. So yeah. Super
I just
cool.
want to say, Scotty G, I do have that hat as well. I have one of those, but I have two of the partner statue hats. And finally, this trip, because we were there when the partner statue opened in December, it was mobbed. So when we got there last week, I was actually got to sit down next to Walt Disney and create the same pose, and the wife took the picture. That was the highlight of my entire trip.
Scott's having some internet issues right now, but I'm sure he'll be great. He's spinning. He'll be back. So I'll get him back in here.
Gotta love technology when it works.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he is. He's fighting it. His internet is not the best tonight, but he's spinning and he's gonna be back. But yeah, so
he'll get there.
Yeah, nope. Now he's gone. Yeah, but that Disney Quest was awesome because it just had 5 levels of technology. But I mean, it was, you know, like early 2000s technology, but it had retro stuff. It had a few like indoor type rides. Yeah, it was very themed. But I mean, Disney had their touch on a lot of the stuff, even some dining in there. So it was a cool experience. But it was included in your ticket, so it was like no risk. You weren't paying anything extra. If you didn't like it, you just walked in, you walked out, no harm, no foul. So we would go in for like an hour and go get something to eat, you know, like you didn't have to spend, you know, you didn't have to be like, I'm going to spend 8 hours here because I got to get my money's worth.
Right. Exactly. And that's the best part about a lot of these Disney experiences is if you don't care for it or the shows or anything like that, you're free to leave at any time.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's all. Yeah. But I mean, when you're paying for it, like everything is add on. Like I want to make sure before I plop down $70 that I'm going to get my value. Like I didn't worry about it because it was the Ultimate Park Hopper ticket days. So, and that's why we did that's why we did the water parks. We go to the water parks for 2 hours in the morning, you know, hit 5 slides, boom. No, that's fine. Go back to the hotel and then go to a park. No big deal. It was great. Flexibility was awesome.
Well, there you go, Mike. And one last question I have for you, because I'm about to embark on this, I think, and we're going to be talking more through emails, because I'm really looking at doing our first ever Disney cruise experience, December of next year. Recommendations for the first-time cruiser, which ship? I mean, we want to do at least 5 days at sea. I want to make this a full 7 to 8 day vacation. What's your thoughts?
So you want to do at least 5 days? I would look at, for the best value, I'd look at a sailing out of like Lauderdale, unless you want to combine it with like Walt Disney World, unless you're dead set on that. But I like my favorite ships, like class, are the Dream and the Fantasy. I just like those ships the best. The Wish, obviously, sailing the 4-nighters and the 3-nighters out of Canaveral, so that'll go to the Bahamas. But the Fantasy later on is going to be doing some weird different itineraries, like 4 nights to the Bahamas, some Western Caribbeans. But I would say, God, for a first timer, the Bahamas is fine because you don't have experience with like Castaway Cay and stuff like that. But I would just look around on DisneyCruise.com and see what dates look good for you. But my favorite class of ships is the Dream class, the Dream and the Fantasy. I just think they're laid out very well. They're very comfortable. They're my favorite. The Wish is a nice ship. It's obviously the newest ship. It's got the newest kind of razzle dazzle, but I just feel most comfortable on the Fantasy and the Dream. Obviously the same layout. And I think, you know, obviously Caribbean's the best.
At least 1 day at Castaway Cay, and that's
you're
going
to
really
get that.
Looking to do. We've never done a cruise. We've never been on one ever, no matter what brand you want to call it. We're just looking to try something maybe a little bit different, and I want to really have that heavy Disney theming. And we're looking at December of next year, like the first week of December, like we do for our vacation. So,
yeah, you're going to get Castaway Cay with almost every. Trying to get Scott back in here, with almost every cruise, so you don't have to really worry about that. I mean, check the itinerary, but I mean, it's very rare to get a cruise where you're not going to Castaway Cay. So just check, but you're going to get that with almost every cruise, the Bahamian and Caribbean.
Gotcha.
So, all right.
Awesome, buddy. Well, I'll let you guys carry on, get your next caller in here. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know we loved Port Orleans. I mean, French Quarter was fantastic. We're probably going to switch our December trip from Coronado to French Quarter. We just loved it that much, but I'll be in contact anyway through email.
All right. I'll be looking forward to it. And thanks. And so Scotty G's back. So we got him back, and there we go. He's here.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
Take care, Brandon. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. I don't know what's going on. Like the StreamYard connection has been really poor, like all night. Because like in the corner it'll say like unstable. It's been saying all night for me. So
I don't see that.
I don't know, but I'm back.
Oh, you're back. That's what matters. There we go. Okay, I don't see that, but I don't because I'm on a hardwired connection. So
yeah.
we're here though. And Mizzou has won the regional in the bottom of the ninth, so we're all good. If I screamed, I apologize. It went off the shortstop's glove up the middle. Rounded third, she hit the plate. Boom, game over. 1-0. Wow. What a battle!
Look at that. Way to go.
And Brandon was looking cruising, so we're talking cruising. And we have our next call just in time for Scotty G to get back. Hey, who's joining us at 407-413-9395?
Hey, this is Ryan from Tennessee.
Ryan, what's going? Tennessee also moved into the Super Regionals today. What's going on?
I can't complain. I've been thankful for good baseball because it's kind of a lull in the sports time, which has been. I went to a high school softball game today just because I felt like I hadn't been watching enough sports.
Hey, man, I'm all in on college softball at this point. I mean, I am all in. So you're exactly right. You find what you got to find.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, not much. I just was getting this. I never went to Disney Quest. I'll get that out of the way.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay, good. He's paying attention. I like it. It's a good student that's paying attention.
No, but it did make me nostalgic for the arcade at the mall.
Have you, wait, hang on. Have you ever been to Aladdin's Castle?
I have not. But I just figured I'd call in, see how you guys are doing. Give it. I almost forgot what I was thinking about. I was just sitting outside. The weather was nice, and I was listening to your guys' going ons abouts, and thought I'd participate. So I'm just Disney wise. We're gearing up for October. We're gonna go in October again, and we're gonna do the Halloween party again. This will be our third year in a row. So we're getting pretty excited for that. But
so you're a fan of the you guys are all in on the Halloween party. I mean, 3 years in a row, that's a big commitment.
Yeah. So all three of my girls have closed down the dance party every year. So I don't think that's the most popular attraction at the Halloween party, but for us it tends to be one that we're at the entire almost half the time we're at the Halloween party. So they've loved that. And then of course we're trick or treating at the end. That's one of the things. We don't trick or treat towards the beginning of the Halloween party, but at the end we kind of go through and the lines are short and they just kind of dump everything in. So, but that's been a big hit. So this is our third year in a row that we're going to do it. And so we're pretty excited about that. And but I don't know if you guys got any. I know there were some new details from the Halloween party. Anything that you guys are excited about with that coming up?
Scott tends to go to these events more than I do. Scott, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, and the parade time is kind of fascinating to me. I like having like the earlier parade time, and glad that they're still keeping the second parade because that's the one I tend to go to is the later one. But I like having that option for younger families, But I'm just jealous I'm not going this year. I've missed the last couple of Halloween parties. I've been kind of like on the Christmas train these last few years, which is starting to become my favorite now, just because that's the one I've been going to. I bet you, I'm like kind of like how Mike always is, like whatever I did the most recent is my favorite. So if I went to the Halloween party this year, I'd probably be saying the Halloween was my favorite. So very excited for you. Where are you going to be staying, Ryan? Are you staying on site?
We're staying at Kidani. So
nice.
So we're DVC, and I just added an extra day because we were going to come in on this day that we're going to do the Halloween party. And then I was just like, that may not work out because we're in a 2-bedroom and they probably won't be ready till 4. And so then, then you're debating whether you try to go to get into the park at 4 or wait till the room's ready and then, come in, So anyways, we'll probably come in Saturday. So I'm trying to think about what to do I'm always trying to think about what to do like on non-park days, because the way that my family is with my girls are 10, 8, and 5. And so far with this 5-year-old, it's worked out best for us to do a park day, rest day, park day, rest day. So I'm always trying to figure out what to do on the rest days. And so that day we're coming in, I've actually never been to the boathouse. So I'm thinking about going and eating there on Saturday prior to, and just doing the pool and stuff. But, one of the things that we've done a couple times too is the foot golf. Have you guys ever done that?
I have not, but I saw him playing it when Scott and I played over at we played the Palm one time, and we saw him playing it right alongside, and it looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've had fun both times that we've played it. It's kind of you get out there and there's not a ton of people around, so you can kind of do whatever you want. So it's like, playing golf without any of the the rules and regulations or decorum that you need to normally have. Not that I play in places that need that a lot of times anyway. But
well, apparently you don't need it at Valhalla right now either, so you're okay there too.
That's true. That's true. We were saying the most excited person on the driving range was Tiger Woods seeing Scotty Scheffler come in that day.
Oh my God. I said, thank God Twitter's still around on Friday, because I'd got no work done for about 3 hours, because the next meme just got better and better and better and better. And I'm not even a golf fan. I'm just like, oh my God, people are creative.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Oh,
anyway,
man. I just feel bad for, I don't know what all went on there. I'm sure it was bad on both sides, but
yeah, same.
It certainly did make for an entertaining social media day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's going home this week. I'm sure he's getting back to his house tonight saying, wow, I may not leave the house ever again. Yeah, that was interesting. Go ahead.
So Ryan, I had a question for you. So if you're going to go down like a day earlier, are you going to like a park the day of the party too? So it's going to kind of be like a rest day and a half almost, right? Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, it'll be a rest day and a half, because we usually do the Halloween party is just that day. We don't do a park the morning of, and then we'll do a 2-day park hopper. So we'll have basically 2 days in the parks for those and hop around each day on those. Okay. So yeah, there will be a rest day and a half. So we always are trying to figure out things to do around the resorts and stuff like that, because we find if we go to the parks every day that my wife might murder me.
So I have this. I have this digital frame here in the office here in the studio that just popped up a picture of Scott that would have been perfect for your family, but it hasn't come back yet. It's something we did probably 5 years ago. We did the tea at the Grand Floridian with the Foresters and all of our families. And I'm not kidding. I thought I'd hate it. It was actually kind of fun. That would have been perfect for your family for one of your down days. You guys would have loved that, because you get these little sandwiches and cookies and you get the hot tea, and Scott poured it all over his lap. I mean, that was beside the point, but I mean, I just saw the picture. He's sitting right next to Mallory and he's pouring the little teapot. Yeah. I mean, I wish that would come back. That'd be something perfect for one of your down days.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my girls would love that. I've been looking for that to come back. We never did it, but I've been looking for it to come back ever since it went away, because they've been kind of in that age range where I think they would have loved it. But we'll keep looking.
Yeah. So, I say book a character meal at a resort too. That's something I like to do on a down day. Because then you still get a cool Disney character experience on a pool day kind of a thing. So try to book a character breakfast or something if you can. That's always fun.
Yeah, give me some character breakfasts. I mean, I've done Topolino's and I've done Ohana. Where else are we thinking? Give me something.
I think Cape May would be a great one for you. Go over to Yacht and Beach Club. You got many. They're cute, in their beach outfits. It's a pretty good spread they got there going on over there too. So I think that'd be a really great one for the family.
Yeah, I need to do Cape May.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the ones that are outside. Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Well, then you got Chef Mickey's, which is fun because then you can do a monorail crawl. and you see the Fab Five, you know, so that's always kind of a fun one. But like, I just love the outfits that they have at Cape May. That one's really great to me. Or the new 1900 too. Like, I'm really fascinated with seeing those characters too. Which is George in our chat just said the same exact thing.
Yep, George is on. He's on fire.
That's right.
Tonight.
That's all new, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's brand new.
Yeah.
So you can see Tiana's over there. It's a.
I think Aladdin's.
I will say, like, I loved the old characters at 1900, but I'm very excited to experience the new thing that they have going on there too. But what's another great hotel one? I feel like I had one more
for breakfast though. I'm trying to think because I'm trying to think the monorail resorts. Wilderness Lodge doesn't have what because they have dinner. They have the Artist Point one. They have the Storybook Dining, but that's not a breakfast.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that one's good though.
That one is. I've never done it, but every person that comes back, all my guests, that thing gets high reviews. Like everybody loves that thing. I have not had a guest come back and say they didn't get their money's worth. And that one's pretty expensive. And people say it was expensive, and I don't care. It was great. So people love it.
Yes.
Trying to think though, you're right because
I think we kind of hit them all because the boardwalk hasn't. We were talking about that in your Discord that how they haven't brought that character meal back.
They need to bring back the one Trattoria El Forno, the Tangled
we had
one.
that one booked and then it went away over COVID. Like we never did get to do Tortianos with. I had heard that one was really good because the Flynn Rider was pretty snarky or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That he played along well.
That was a great. I don't know why they didn't bring that. Why don't? Because I can't imagine that restaurant sells out. Like, and if they would bring the characters back, that'd be just on fire. It'd have to be on fire. That was popular.
But I definitely think like with your kids' ages, I mean, it doesn't really matter. 10, 8, 5, like any of the character meals, I think would be good. But speaking of the fact that you haven't done Cape May, like I think your family would really enjoy that one. So that's what I would recommend.
I think I made a good call calling you guys because I think I'll definitely do Cape May. So because I haven't done that one. So
yeah, and then
there we go.
And Carolyn, she's always in here on Sunday nights helping us out. She's like the third member of the team here. She's saying, then you're right there. If you're just taking a resort day to chill out, just jump the Skyliner and just ride the Skyliner around for a little bit. Kill an hour after breakfast, let that food digest and take a spin, maybe down to Art of Animation, Pop Century, walk the. Just walk around those resorts, Caribbean Beach, walk around the Riviera and head back.
Yeah. That sounds.
Or catch a bus.
Like
the cool thing is you could just jump on a bus for many.
You guys should do this for a living.
Hey, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
That's awesome.
It's not bad to sit here and talk about it.
Yeah. Have you ever done like a show where you just planned somebody's vacation, like legitimately? Like just said, hey.
So I wanted to do this show before, Ryan, like with me. Like I wanted to like we just we open up the Walt Disney World website. We like look for a good hotel. I book my airfare. Like I think that'd be a fun episode. Like I've said that to Mike that we should try.
I think it would be a great episode. And then you can have somebody come back and pan out exactly how it went. Like how good did you do?
We actually did this. We actually did this way a long time ago, like probably in like 2010 or 2009 or something. We did this a super long time ago. I mean, like probably 15 years ago. But yeah, we could do this again. It's just really hard on the fly. But yeah, we could do it. I mean, it wouldn't be pretty. The mechanics, there's so many more variables nowadays. Like it wasn't as hard back then. Now. I mean, because really, I guess you're not thinking about like all the virtual queues and stuff like that. Now, really, it boils down to like your tickets, your dining, not even your dining at that point. Right. You're just your tickets, your hotel. Do you need a park hopper? Are you going to get a dining plan? That's your initial thoughts, and then you got to kind of start the secondarily. You got to think about like how you're going to get from the airport to the resort and stuff like that. There's different tiers. That's a good idea.
My favorite was on a different podcast, WDWW Today. Like we loved those guys like back in the day. And I remember one episode, Mike Newell was it was one of those where you like put in like how much you wanted to spend on a hotel is going to be like off site. So like he had no idea what the hotel was going to be. And they were just like, all right, I want these amenities.
Oh yeah. It was like,
and then boom, like they were all like surprised, like live on the episode, like what hotel he was going to be.
Yes, I do remember that. It was like, it was like it was was it like Priceline or something where they bid, where they bid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just basically bid on his hotel room live on the show.
Yeah, totally. I remember that. I totally remember that. Yeah, those shows were the best. We modeled our show after theirs. Everybody knows that. That's why we have 3 shows a week.
Yeah.
Because they're the best. I miss those guys.
I think you should totally do that. You need somebody who's obviously a veteran who it doesn't really matter because they're going to have fun no matter what. But and I think you'd have to do the dining plan because it just makes it where you can just book what you're going to do because you already paid for it. But I think you should consider doing that one again if it was 2010.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we could totally do that. We just gotta get the right person to come on with us, and we'll see. I'll put the call on. If anybody wants to do it, we'll do it. That'd be fun. That would be fun. This
The other way you
just
could
stress
do
me
it,
out. But
again, not to take up too much time on this, but I was going to say you can make it like 3 choices and do a poll for each thing.
we can do that. We now have the
And then
technology.
they commit. So then, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the
Correct.
Grand Floridian concierge at
Oh my
$2,000
God!
a night.
I'm not doing that because I will lose sleep over that.
Comparable
No.
choices.
No, I am not doing that because I will lose sleep. These people are.
It's all on the live listener.
No, we
feedback
are not
decides
doing
when
that.
The person
No.
like
No,
stays
no.
and dines.
We are not doing that. No, they are picking
I'll
their own
volunteer.
stuff.
I'll do whatever the audience
Oh
says.
my God, you're crazy. You are crazy. You're not doing that.
Well, I got to get out of here. Good to talk to you.
Good
guys.
talking to you too. And if we don't talk, don't be a stranger. But if there's no sports, I mean, football starts here not too long. But don't be a stranger and give us a holler. And glad you're gonna have a fun trip coming up.
All right, you have a good one.
Take care. Bye bye. You can hear the birds.
I want to book a trip now, like a weekend trip where everyone in the chat like picks my plans, like where I'm going to eat, what parks I'm going to. Like, that would be fun. Man.
You are. I get it, right? That would be fun in a way, but I'm also scared that somebody would come in and throw me at All Star.
Like, they're going to pick like boat rights for me to dine. You
But
know?
see,
like,
the thing is, I think I would like boat rides. I would because I don't go there normally, and I'd probably enjoy it.
And maybe I would.
I know.
That would be great. I don't have to make the decision. Like, what are most domestic arguments about? They're about like where we're gonna eat. You know,
Oh my God, you are so right. That is every night. You
so
are
I'll just have the
exactly.
Be Our Guest live chat
Dude.
decide my whole trip for me.
Dude, no truer words have been said than what you just said because every night, like, where you want to eat? I don't know. Where you want to eat? I don't know. Every night in our house. Okay, so, yeah, okay, think about it. Okay, now you got me really thinking about this. So if we threw that out there, I wouldn't care what. The only thing I would be concerned about is they pick a place too expensive. Like, that'd be my, like, I wouldn't care if you put me at sports because I'm fine being at sports, like, or music or movies. So if you put me at the lowest Disney hotel, I'm totally content because it's got on-site transportation, it's got themed rooms. I'm cool with that. If you put me at like rack rate at the Grand Floridian or something,
Right. That's why
I'm getting mad. You know,
you gotta have like a range.
You gotta have like a budget. Yeah, you gotta come in with a budget.
Kind of like the Priceline thing.
That's true.
So we're
Like,
talking about-
I want to be going broke. Yeah, but I do like this idea though, man. We're onto something.
And then
here.
you have someone just book your ADRs for you, like.
Look at George, send you to movies and then Victorian Alberts.
Yeah,
No,
that's
dude,
quite
I'm
the
not going to
duo right
Victorian
there.
Alberts. What are you doing?
You could have like 10 nights at movies and it wouldn't even equal to like one person's meal. Just
Exactly. You probably, yeah. It's like you could have stayed a week in your hotel, or you could have had the steak.
yeah.
I mean, no, because the steak would be
It'd
like
be
that
an
big.
interesting thing, an interesting concept for sure.
It would be. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. We have about 10 minutes left in tonight's show. It is going by so quickly.
So let's talk about your trip. So you got the cruise coming up.
Dude.
I heard you say something about Old Key West potentially.
That's what I'm
like
thinking
that
because we have to have a room for 5. Okay, so that's another
So you
room,
think like a 1-bedroom then? Or-
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of the kids is gonna have to sleep on that like chair thing. that
Yeah. That happens.
folds out. I mean,
I've
tough.
slept on that chair.
Tough. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I mean, it's, you know what? Tough. They're going on a cruise.
It's funny, like you're gonna go from like a 1-bedroom to like a stateroom. That's always like an interesting like
exactly.
transition.
And I'm like, they'll live. You know what I'm saying? They're like 16. They'll be fine. Yeah. So I haven't actually, that was on my agenda to do today, which it's already almost dark and it's not going to happen. So I'll be on tomorrow's agenda. Just how the weekend gets away from you. But, yeah, so that's my last 2 things I still have to book. I have to book the hotel room for the night before, and I have to book transportation. Because you always book transportation for us when we go together. So I have to do it on my own. I have to be a big boy.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking, since nobody listens to the show in my family, so we're good to go here, is I'm thinking of booking like a limo or something because I want to do private transfers on the way over so we can get there like, you know, because we're platinum, so we'll get early port arrival time and get there early. But I think I'm going to do Disney Cruise Line transfers on the way because we're going straight to the airport after the cruise. So what's the hurry, right? It's a 1 o'clock
my
flight.
God. I have never done that.
Dude,
before.
I haven't either, but we have to because Paige has to get back. Mallory has to get back. Like, we don't, dude, that's going to be the worst.
Even
that's
like the time where, like, remember I did
Oh.
that quick weekend last minute cruise?
Yep.
We still went to Epcot and then just to ride Guardians and then went back home. Like, oh man. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the trip report on that. Just like how painful was that?
Dude, you know how sad that's going to be when, because you know how that feels, right? Because I mean, we always, a lot of times we have veranda staterooms, right? So that last morning you wake up and like you look out your veranda, you have porthole. Yeah. You look out your porthole, and I mean, you are in that exact spot where 1 week earlier you could not have been more excited to see that outside your view, and now you're like,
Speaking of, is there a greater like feeling in life than like sail away day? Like
no,
on a cruise?
It's the best day ever.
Highest of highs.
Yes,
I feel like, you know?
it is. And it's the lowest of lows when you get back because you just know like it's going to be a while before you get back on that ship and you're going back to work and like you're not going to have good meals. You're not going to have an ice cream machine.
You just got to spin it though in that pot like that. You just had an amazing week with family and friends. True. You know, so like that's how you got to spin it.
Yeah, that's true. So actually, Brandon up in New Hampshire was asking while you were gone, while you were spinning in your internet thing there. He was going to go on his very first Disney cruise. So he's asking, he wants to do at least a 5-nighter. And I told him personally, my favorite class of ship is the Dream and the Fantasy. It's just what I prefer. I mean, I've been on all the classes now. What about you? I mean, you've been on them. What do you?
Yeah.
Is the wish?
I still want to do the OG ships. I want to get on the Magic and the Wonder.
They're nice. I like them too.
Yeah, and I hear like they're smaller, but like as a Disney fan, I'm like a completist too. You know, I got to do all the ships. So I got to find some itineraries for those. Probably like an Alaska on the Wonder and find something on the Magic. But that being said, like the Dream class is just a spectacular class, and like I'm not knocking the Wish by any means. I had a great time on our podcast cruise. I want to go on the Wish again because like like maybe the second time, like maybe they improve some things, or maybe I'll be feeling different. I don't know what it might be, but I've done that Dream class so many times that like it is, you just can't beat it. It's so great in my opinion.
And then I can't put a thumb on it though, like because I mean they're about the same size. One thing that I think is definitely better, and I think it's a sign of the times, is the Wish in the adult area had like that room that's equivalent to the D Lounge on the Fantasy and the Dream. And that room was so small where like you played all those kind of smaller type like karaoke games and stuff. I felt like you were in like a boardroom or something.
I'll just never forget being in there one night. There were like 30 adults sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Because there was no room.
I felt like we were in a conference room. Yeah.
And
that ship was obviously made during COVID. But I mean, like I felt like they designed it for COVID and like this ship was it's going to be sailing for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it had lots of smaller spaces. I don't know. Like I'd love to talk to the designers of that ship.
I'm very curious if the treasure is going to be similar. Going to have that same room,
I think. But I mean, like the D Lounge is such a like useful space on the Fantasy and the Dream, and we go to a lot of that family stuff, even though like it's made for families. But towel folding,
dude,
and everybody cooks. Yeah,
they always do like a DVC thing in the D Lounge too, which is always but,
bingo. We got to call her. Hey, caller. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. What's going on?
Hey, Hey, it's George. What's going on, man?
Hey, George. What's up, buddy? You're just right here with us.
I know the 808 area code messed it up, huh?
You got. Hey, what's up?
Oh, Taylor's here too.
Taylor, what's going on?
But yeah. How y'all doing?
We're just hanging out. Good. Always good.
Yeah, sorry, I got nothing to add about the boats or the ships or the cruise lines. I got nothing. I was just like, you know what? Nobody's called in a while. I should call and be like, what's going on, guys?
Hey, the show just got 10 times better just by you calling.
I mean, you got a schooled in hair too. I'm just saying, like the hair game just like increased like dramatically with you.
For real.
Here, so.
Don't encourage him.
Oh, you guys.
So George, I have a question for you that I never asked before. So I think you and Taylor met like in Hawaii, if I remember correctly. Was that pre-Alani? Like, have you ever been to Alani? Like, have you ever checked out the resort over there at all?
We have.
So we've been to Alani, but not together.
Okay.
And
it's really beautiful.
It's beautiful, and I recommend everyone go, but don't stay in Hawaii, but go and visit.
For sure.
Don't
So you're saying
say.
don't live in Hawaii is what you're
Like the
suggesting.
spas are amazing. They have like the little rain shower things, and all of that is amazing.
Span Musubi.
Yeah, try Span Musubi when you go out there.
My wife really wants to go. We're gonna go soon. We got
You
to.
got to,
Do
Mike.
it,
Give us
do
like,
it, do it, Mike. Do it.
We are.
she's the best vacation I ever
I
had,
know.
man. I love going.
But see, she's got one more year teaching, and then she's retired, and then we can go.
Nice.
Then we can go in like the cheaper times a year. Finally, so we're getting
There you go.
we're getting to where travel will be a
Retirement party,
lot
Mike.
cheaper. We won't have to travel in the summer. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Retirement party.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And yeah, that'll be that's a good idea actually. Use that for a present.
So we were just thinking. We were thinking a year ago this week we got married at the yacht club on the 23rd.
Oh, congratulations!
So we were down there already, just chilling, just like woo, partying. And yeah, we were like, oh, it's kind of sad we're not there right now. But yeah.
Hey,
Well, we'll see y'all in
Hey,
January.
dude, pull a Scotty G, man. Just book something right
so
now.
I'm saying,
right?
dude, this guy, he's like, hey, I want to go on a cruise.
Scotty.
I'm like, he's like in 2 days.
I did that all last year. Like literally, we went like 7 times last year.
It's 4, but yeah.
And she like I can't do it this year.
Yeah.
I went in March by myself, and I was like, oh no, I'm not here with
I
Taylor.
just want to have a picnic.
She was like,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
tough.
want a
It's tough when
picnic,
you go by
can't
yourself.
go.
I know Mike does that with the Run
Yeah.
Disney and stuff a lot, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
It is.
I was like, I pulled a Scotty G, and I went a lot of times in 1 year.
Yeah, it's nice when like the calendar works out. I always take advantage of like long weekends, that are like built-in holiday days. Like that's what I do. Like you will never see me like at home over like a holiday weekend, man. I'm gone. I'm going somewhere. I gotta take advantage of that.
I respect that so much. I do. Like if I can get a 4-day weekend, best believe like it's booked and we're there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Do you have any like? So it sounds like you're not going as much this year. Like I think you're doing marathon.
Yeah.
I think I saw. So is that going to be what the next trip is?
Yeah, it's just, I think we're holding out for marathon. If a good deal comes up, maybe like I'll jump in for a weekend. I just renewed my annual pass, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're just kind of like cruising, waiting for marathon weekend. I think we're gonna go back to Destino Tower. That was like amazing.
Yep,
Probably one of the best resorts we've stayed at. We stayed at a lot of resorts, and I feel like that's like right there, like perfect balance between like location and restaurants and things to do. So yeah.
Yeah, speaking of annual passes, I got the envelope this week. Your annual pass is about to expire envelope. So it's sitting right there on the kitchen table, like tormenting me. Like, do I or don't I? It's so hard.
It's a tough
Mine was
call.
sitting on my refrigerator, and I was like, I guess I'll do it.
I know, but we've been talking about this for months here on the show, off and on. It's a value proposition, right? It all comes down to math because it's an opportunity cost. Because if you renew it, then you'll probably will take like a weekend here, a weekend there. If you don't, you won't, but you don't want to renew it if you're not going to go down again until marathon weekend. Cause then you're spending money you don't need to spend, you can just get a new one.
I look at it both ways, right? Like you can go 2 or 3 times and it makes sense. But also I look at it like if you look at the discounts you get, say at like a hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you get the discount at dining or buying souvenirs or even like extra events or whatever they have. Like I feel like sometimes those, just having that security of, I can go with 30 or 40% off at this time makes sense for some people.
For
you
sure.
know, just the ease of going in and not having to worry about buying a park ticket. I feel like sometimes that makes more sense.
Just the 10% I get on shopping, man, alone, right? Or 20% off,
Yeah,
whatever
all
it is.
day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Disney Math 101.
Yeah.
It's like girl math, but more expensive.
Exactly. You got to spend $1,500 so that you can save $750 on that steak.
There you go.
That's how we all are. We are so messed up. No, well,
it's crazy, but it works sometimes. You
no,
know?
I got you. I mean, I've been an annual pass holder for a decade, probably more. And it's what I enjoy, right? We all have our things we enjoy. It's some people get their cars, some people, everybody's got their things, and Disney's what we all like. So
sure.
can't knock it.
For real.
Do people that like cars or what funds my Disney obsession?
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
I know.
The people who like cars fund our Disney obsession. There you go.
That's right. I mean, I drive a 12-year-old Jeep that doesn't even have doors on it right now, so we're all good.
I mean, it's summertime. Yes, the doors need to be off, Mike.
They're officially off as of yesterday, so we're all good. The foot's sticking out and ready to rock. All right, George.
Easier to get your Taco Bell, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did already. It's good. We're good. It's
nice.
Good to go. Well, hey, George, thanks for giving us a call, and you guys take care and happy anniversary.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
We'll see you soon.
See you, George and Taylor.
See you guys. Bye-bye. All right. Well, there's another show, Scotty G. So what's going on this week up in Michigan for y'all? Anything interesting?
Nothing interesting, but we'll be making our way to Illinois on Friday.
That's what I was hoping. So heading down to Edwardsville. Got an Airbnb.
Gonna just hang out there for a few nights. Friday, I mean, Jared and Stacey already have like all the plans right now. Like all the places we're dining. And then on that Sunday, I think we're gonna go to the aquarium and like this wheel thing or something.
It's a big Ferris wheel, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right by Union Station. Yeah.
Yep. And then he put in the agenda, go visit Mike and Pam. So
come out to Weldon Spring, and maybe next Sunday night you'll be here in the studio.
Maybe. I do want to go back to the Arch again too, though, because we did that like in the winter time, one visit. So depending on how it works, maybe we'll go up in the Arch again. That's always kind of fun to do.
Yeah, that's fun. It kind of freaks me out, but
I know it does. I know it does.
By the way, 630 feet tall.
I don't think the Cardinals are home that weekend either.
I don't think so, because they've been home on a long homestand right now. Yeah. So I think they're out of town. But
excited to hang out with friends and do some dining and just not worry about plugging in for work or anything. It should be a really fun weekend.
That'll be fun. Yeah, Edwardsville's a cool little town, and we'll have the deck ready on Sunday, so hopefully we can be here. We can do a live show and right here from the studio.
All right.
That'd be cool.
Sounds awesome, man.
All right, we're gonna get out of here and wish you a great week. We'll have great shows coming up this week. Tomorrow, oh my gosh, what is tomorrow's show? Let me check for you guys. We got a show coming out tomorrow. Oops, let's see here. The captcha got me on my own website. Let's see here. We have. Oh, speaking of cruises, a great review of a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. It's a first experience on the Disney Cruise Line for a family of 5 spring break cruise. You're going to love this one. So that's coming out on the feed here within an hour for those two folks tuned in live. So it's going to be fun. We're heading out to sea on the Fantasy. And then Wednesday, listener questions. Friday, Pam and Ricky will be joining me as far as I know. So we'll stand by for that. We'll have a fun topical show there. Lots of great episodes coming your way this week. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. No additional cost to you. Just check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. Over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast, just $5 a month. And you get our bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So coming over this week. We'd love to see you over on the Discord. We have so much fun. I am not kidding. It is such a helpful, fun community. If you have a question, there's answers there almost immediately. Folks are asking for opinions on, resorts. Should I switch resorts? Should I do this with my dining? You will get answers most times of the day within minutes if you post those questions in there. It's wild. This morning I was walking on the treadmill and it was like 5:30 in the morning, and somebody had a question about switching resorts, doing a split stay. And 5:30 in the morning, there were a couple suggestions within a half hour for this person who was asking about maybe going to Animal Kingdom Lodge, and there were pictures of what this kind of room type looked like. So come over to the community if you want some Disney talk, and we talk sports. Friday, we were talking golf in there. We've been talking baseball. We've been talking basketball, football. We have rooms for everything. So come on over, join the community. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Discord. Give Scott a follow on the social media at @epscott. I'm at beourguestmike and all the social media outlets. And we'll do this again next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. All right, we are going to get out of here. And, oh, that's right, Cards and Cubs next weekend, Wade says, up in Nebraska. That is right. Oh, would that be in Chicago? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's here. I think it's here. I want to say that is in St. Louis, but anyway, I'm closing out, but the chat is going crazy, but I think that might be insane. You might be downtown during a Cubs Cardinals weekend. That'd be fun for you if it is. I know we do
Cubs.
play the Cubs.
Go Cubs.
We're terrible.
Never thought I'd ever say those words, only when they play the Cardinals.
We're terrible this year, so yeah, the Cubs will beat us. Anyway, we're going to get out of here, so good job, Wade. All right, so you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.